buddy, it is I, Mr. Aaron, and it is 2 p.m. on a Monday, which means it is time for a return to stories. Huzzah! Now, we are going to be continuing today with the story of Mr. Klutz's Nuts at my weird school. You may recall that when we left off last time, Mr. Klutz was coming up with wilder and wilder incentives to help the kids at my weird school be incentivized to do more learning. So he was going to hop down Main Street in a chicken suit on a pogo stick, and they had the chocolate party, and he kissed a pig on the lips. He did all kinds of crazy things. And the next thing that he had decided he was going to do is if the kids read 1,000,000 minutes with their parents before winter break, he was going to dress up. He was going to dress up like Santa, and he was going to bungee jump off the roof of the school. And the kids were really afraid that he was going to hurt himself, so they decided that they were going to try and convince him to not do that. So that is where we are picking up today. Chapter 12, A Hard Bargain. That afternoon, we talked Miss Daisy into letting us go to Mr. Klutz's office for a meeting. "We need to speak with Mr. Klutz," Andrea told the school secretary. "It's very important." "It's a matter of life and death," Ryan said. The secretary let us in. Mr. Klutz wasn't hanging from the ceiling or anything. He had on boxing gloves and he was punching his punching bag. "May I help you, kids?" he asked. "Go ahead, AJ," Andrea said, giving me a shove from behind. "Mr. Klutz," I told him, "we have come to make a deal with you." "Really? What kind of deal?" "We decided that we will read 1,000,000 minutes with our parents, but only if you don't jump off the roof." "Only if I don't jump off the roof?" he said, looking puzzled. "But I was going to jump off the roof as an incentive, to encourage you to read with your parents at night." "Well, we're going to read with our parents at night as an incentive to make you not jump off the roof." "This is highly unusual," Mr. Klutz said. "I thought the principal should offer the students incentives, not the other way around." "Your incentives have been getting more and more dangerous," Andrea told him. "We're afraid that you might get killed trying to help us learn." "Yeah, and if you die, we'll feel guilty," I added. "Now, let me get this straight," Mr. Klutz said. "I offered to jump off the roof if you read 1,000,000 minutes at night with your parents. But you're saying that you will only read 1,000,000 minutes with your parents if I don't jump off the roof, correct?" "That's right," we said. "What if I jumped off the basketball backboard in the gym into a swimming pool filled with foam blocks?" Mr. Klutz asked. "Would that be okay?" "No," we all said. "Can I wear a suit made of bubble wrap and jump off the stage in the auditorium?" "No." "No jumping off anything," Andrea insisted. "Not if you want us to read or write or do math. That's our final offer. Take it or leave it." "You drive a hard bargain," Mr. Klutz sighed. "Okay, I won't jump." "Have a nice day," we all said. Chapter 13, Poor Mr. Klutz. The kids in the other grades were disappointed when they heard that Mr. Klutz had changed his mind about bungee jumping off the roof of the school. Some of them were even mad at us for stopping him. But when it was announced that there would be a field trip to Waterworld if we reached our goal instead, they stopped being mad. Waterworld is probably the coolest water park in California. A few days before vacation, the school still hadn't reached our goal of 1,000,000 minutes of reading with our parents. It looked like we were not going to make it in time. Then Mr. Klutz got on the loudspeaker during morning announcements. "Students, there are 3 more nights to go before vacation," he told us. "I hate to do this, but if you don't reach your goal by Friday, the field trip to Waterworld will be called off, and I will have no choice but to jump off the roof. Have a nice day." After hearing that, everybody started reading with their parents like crazy. Even the sixth graders, who say that reading isn't cool. Everybody wanted to go to Waterworld. We reached 1,000,000 minutes the day before school let out for vacation. The field trip to Waterworld was awesome. They had about 100 giant water slides, and in some of them, you slid in the dark with laser beams shooting all over the place, and we got to eat as much pizza and ice cream as we wanted. They also had one of those giant inflatable moon bounce thingies where you jump around like crazy inside of it. After water sliding, eating all that junk food, and bouncing in the moon bounce, I thought I was going to throw up. It was the greatest day of my life. Me and Ryan and Emily and Andrea and Michael went looking for Mr. Klutz to thank him. We found him standing next to the moon bounce thingy. Great party, I told Mr. Klutz. We all gave him a big hug. If you ask me, you're the greatest principal in the history of the world.
Thanks, AJ.
See, you didn't need to bungee jump off the school to make us learn,
Andrea said. I guess not,
Mr. Klutz said. He was looking up at the moon bounce.
But I was just thinking, if we brought one of these moon bounce things out in front of the school and I went up on the roof,
No, we all yelled.
But I wouldn't even need a bungee cord.
No!
It's pretty soft.
No! I think it's going to be very hard work helping Mr. Klutz get over this need he has to do nutty things. Maybe by June, if the whole school works together, we might be able to cure him.
But it won't
Be easy. And that, guys, actually brings us to the end of the book. But I have... I remembered to bring them with me this time. I have some reflection questions on the book for you. Just like we've had on some of our previous ones. So let me just find where I wrote them down here. Here we go. So our questions for reflection. And if you want to put the kids' answers in the comments, you're certainly welcome to. I'd love to read them. So the reflection questions for Mr. Klutz's Nuts. Number 1. What was the first unexpected thing that Mr. Klutz did? The very first one that we saw in the book. You wouldn't expect a principal to do. Question number 2. What is an incentive? They told us what an incentive was in the book. You remember what an incentive actually is. Question number 3. What is motivation? They also told us what motivation is early on in the book. What is it? Question number 4, who is Mr. Rupee? There is a character in the book named Mr. Rupee. Who is that guy? And finally, number 5, what do you find to be a really great incentive? Everybody's incentivized by something, right? So those are our questions for today. So feel free to just answer them at home or put the answers in the comments. Even on the recording of the video if you want, if you're watching the recording later. That's cool. So thank you so much for listening today, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed. Of course, we will be back at 2 p.m. tomorrow with a brand new story. And don't forget to check out our other live programs, Toddler Time with Miss Becky, Stories with Sunny, and Creating with Constance. And don't forget that this week the library is only open through Thursday because we are closed Friday and Saturday for the holiday weekend. So make sure you come in and get your stuff before then. And don't forget that you can also still access digital content through our digital content services at sweetwaterlibraries.com. And don't forget to come in and grab the new Grab and Go bags that have the Grab and Go craft in them. There's a new one at each of the 3 library buildings this week. They're pretty cool ones. Our one here at White Mountain is this really adorable snowman with like an Uncle Sam hat on. It's really cute. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow, guys. Thanks for listening.